Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It is Friday afternoon. It is Memorial Weekend. A lot of y'all are off. I'm not. Me and Mike, we got to work tomorrow.
I'm off on Monday.
Well, yeah, actually, I'll be off Sunday and Monday, although I'll be working on some cabinets and stuff. But be that as it may, some of y'all are headed to the beach. Have fun. Enjoy the traffic. Just get there alive and come back safe. That's all I ask. So we're sitting here, and I've been working on this kitchen, so I haven't been in the studio that much. And we've got our live stream, of course, tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. But right now, we're sitting 104 days, 5 hours, 7 minutes, and 6 seconds away from the kickoff against the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm mad as hell. Actually, I'm not mad. I'm not even surprised. So something that's really, really interesting to me, and I know I say that too often. I'm sure some of you put that in the comments because it's like, oh, it's interesting to Mark, of course. Is, we're looking at a resurgence. So I came down here from work and I watched a clip from Pro Football Focus, and they're talking about how Ceedee Lamb is going to rebound this year because Dak Prescott is back, and now that you've got George Pickens, that, it could be a monster year for him. Now, these are the same guys that said that Dak Prescott is the 17th rated quarterback going to the season, knowing that the year before he ended up being a MVP runner-up. But be that as it may, I ended up going on Twitter and seeing this. And Eagle Muse, stats in 24, A.J. Brown, 83 yards a game. His touchdowns a game, 0.54. Ceedee Lamb, 79 yards per game. And his TDs per game, 0.40. And so, as they put it, the leader is clear. Okay? The leader is clear. And before I go any further, see, this is what I was talking about here. Let's listen to this.
I want to start with Ceedee Lamb in Dallas because I think this past year between Dak Prescott's injury and then just the lack of a second threat, right? I think what you saw last year is without Brandon Cooks, kind of out of his prime now, without a legitimate X receiver to take the top off and open things up for Lamb underneath, you're talking about somebody who saw a lot tighter windows and just couldn't make as much happen. You saw a lot less production on those shorter throws and less production after the catch, but it's about opening things up for Ceedee Lamb again. So I think he's somebody who could be in for a huge bounce back year if Dak Prescott is healthy, if George Pickens is the deep threat that they need him to be, or at least the threat of that, right? The decoy on the outside that just doesn't allow you to double and triple team and focus your whole defense on Lamb the whole time. So I want to start with Ceedee Lamb.
Okay. So let me see if I get this straight. Ceedee Lamb should have a monster season because Dak Prescott's coming back. That's the first part. Did I get that right? Second thing, A.J. Brown on a Super Bowl team is deemed better than Ceedee Lamb as wide receiver number one in the division. Understanding that we just said by Pro Football Focus, Ceedee Lamb would be having a monster season because, or reason being, would be because Dak Prescott is back and George Pickens is there. And so it won't be as many tight windows, catches that you have to make, that there'll be more separation and more opportunity for yards after catch, right? So I'm curious how Pro Football Focus can go through and say Ceedee Lamb is going to have a monster year because Dak Prescott is back and healthy, as opposed to Cooper Rush throwing to him, and will even be better because you got George Pickens. So if you buy along with that, if you say Ceedee Lamb's going to have a monster season and George Pickens is going to help take the top off of it, then that's saying that the offense is going to do better, right? So if you're saying that the offense will do better because now they've got two legitimate weapons as opposed to Brandon Cooks, who's no longer in his prime, and Chop Liver or Noah Brown or Jalen Tolbert as your number 2, that the offense will be better, right? Yet, somehow, Dak Prescott is considered the 17th rated quarterback behind guys like Geno, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, and so on. You can go down the line here. Surprised they didn't put Cooper Rush in front of him. But here's the thing. So for Eagle Muse, Ceedee Lamb, 79 yards versus 83, right? Without Dak Prescott for half the season. Without a legitimate number 2. You know, I don't know if you've checked it with the Eagles, but the Eagles actually have a number 2 wide receiver. They also have a good tight end. And, they have the NFL leading running back. So he's got all these people that have to be covered. The Cowboys only had Ceedee Lamb and a backup quarterback throwing to him. And so Ceedee Lamb still was only 4 yards behind him, and he was injured most of the season. Let's look back a little bit here. Let's go back to the year before when Dak Prescott was healthy, but still not having a legitimate number 2. Okay, you had Brandon Cooks, who got about 600 yards. Ceedee Lamb, that season when Dak Prescott was healthy without having a legitimate number 2, had 1,749 yards. Now, last I checked, there's 17 games. So what that says is that's averaging about 104 yards per game. That's about 20 yards more than what A.J. Brown did this year with everything going for him. And how did he do versus A.J. Brown that year? Now, and again, Ceedee Lamb had more catches than anybody else. Freaking 135. 1,749 yards, 12 TDs, 29 catches of over 20 yards. Where's A.J. Brown on this list? I see Ceedee, I see Tyreek Hill, I see St. Brown, Evan Ingram, Michael Pittman, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs. Oh, there's A.J. Hey, A.J. 106 catches, 1,456 yards for 7 TDs. Okay. So, yeah, it was a down year, and that's why A.J. Brown got him. We'll see how it goes this year when the Cowboys team is a little bit better than what it was then. All right, good people. 104 days, 5 hours exactly. Make it 4 hours and 59 minutes till kickoff against the Eagles. And, man, I hope we don't burn ourselves out between now and the game because the shit is flowing right now. All righty, good people. As always, I appreciate you guys. Peace out. Because I got to get out of here.
Can't stand it anymore. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've got to get out.
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Everything's going to be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.